I don't know if it's live or not. Oh, hmm. Okay. I was hoping that I would be able to continue to multitask. So I'm leaving it for now. For some morning. One option is like bot farming. You know, where they have the tree of phones. Because I mean, it's cheaper to get a phone and download an app than it is to get all this equipment and stuff, right? You can get pretty much any updated phone. It's not like ridiculously expensive, and it doesn't even have to be perfect as long as the camera works, right? And as long as it like downloads to Wi-Fi, it doesn't even have to have service. And most services now actually offer like hotspot with the payment if you do have like the service line. Usually it includes some kind of hotspot or something like that. So if you did like an hour or 2 hours a day every day for a month, you'd use your data probably by like the 20th day, I want to say. It would run down. But yeah, you could still do that. And then if you use Wi-Fi at like a location, um, just be careful where you're at because there's some places that I don't even know if they allow streaming on their Wi-Fi. So they used to, but I don't know if they do anymore. Um, Another option I think is like a library, but you wouldn't be able to talk very much. You should have one of those like silent room areas where you go to. Um, so, trade phones, phone apps. Now I've got this new computer, which is a ThinkPad, and I'm able to transfer all of my everything that I've been working on for the past 3 to 5 years. Um, and um, so I don't know how to get it on the new one because everything on this one's Google Chrome. This is Microsoft. Transfer. And I'll be honest with you, like I've got this thing so wiped out. I don't even remember what paths they were on or what's connecting to what, and like what pathways I took because it's taken me this long to get this far, and I'm now having to like start over again, and I don't know what do I want to transfer from this computer to the new computer. And how do I transfer it? And it's only questions that I can answer, and I don't know the answer to it because I haven't thought that. I never thought I was going to be able to even get a computer to replace this one. So having a new computer with a whole new system and having the ability to transfer everything over. It's like, oh, now here's your opportunity. Now what are you going to do with it? You get one shot, one opportunity. Right? So, um, and I always say that I'm not getting more on it later, and I don't. So, this was definitely not wrong. For those of you who are sharing socials, if you are trying to build your social media, transferring your videos via like an internal site is not really going to work. Just fair warning. Like if you transfer your TikTok to your IG reel, if you don't do an independent IG reel, for some reason the algorithm it like throws it off, like kicks it to the bottom or something, or at least it does for mine. So if you're experiencing that, let me know. Pre-saved was shared today, so I did not do an IG reel, but Amazon links. And for those of you who are Amazon affiliates, not I share my Git link to my Instagram, my Facebook, and I'm going to actually reshare my last Instagram. I'm going to see if this will work. The link that I got, take this. Deleted. Music. Why? No. I did notice an uptick in bot usage. Pretty much all my social media. So I don't know if you guys have experienced that as well. I'm looking at threads with comments real quick. So all social media stuff is done, other than the IG reel, which I didn't do. Amazon link. Clearly, it does not repost for some reason. Okay, so Amazon link. Why does um, what is it? Change it to- makes it clickable. Not clickable, whatever. Doesn't make it an actual link. I take it. Why does the Amazon link? Why is it not clickable once it's shared on social media? For those of you who are influencers, or not influencers. Mm, so it used to have it to where it would automatically share to your social media. For some reason, I don't know why, um, it no longer has it as an option. So I need 63 cents. I don't even know what they bought. It was some kind of commission. Someone bought something off my link, which is awesome. Please keep using my links as much as possible. If it's clickable. If it's not, just copy and paste. Do your part. Okay, so that's not good. So, um, I don't know which ones. That's when I was on YouTube. I was trying to get YouTube. Is where Twitch uploads. You have to like go in there and manually upload it. If you don't know how to do it without having to manually upload it, please let me know. Alright, I'm gonna switch accounts. I did pick up more subscribers on my YouTube, which is awesome. But I'm only at 40, so I need 500, or at least I think it's like 5,000 to become monetized. So becoming monetized is so much harder now for me. Like I've been trying to become monetized for 3 years now, and struggles, right? Um, videos. So the last one that I uploaded from TikTok, or not TikTok, from Twitch to my YouTube is any day now. Okay. It was the 30th. So for some reason I had multiples of the same. Okay, so the 30th was my last class. And see, like the intro to them only shows like a random image. So it's not the same imagery as like the ones that are on Twitch than they are on YouTube. So so May 2nd is the next one, and May 5th is currently happening. So, okay, I thought it was further behind than that. Okay, so that's when I dropped the. So, this. Just take it. So on the 27th, it expires in 6 days. So how many days is it in? So they give you like 2 weeks. Okay. So let's just say 10 weeks, because then, like at the end of the week, like once a week, um, okay. So if you're loading every day, or if you're live, at this point it seems nice to be through time. Just to get in and Nevermore, there's one to look different things, just to get different things. You know what I mean? So for those of you who are entrepreneurs, I totally feel your pain. Anybody's pain at this point. This should be okay for that part. So I did the link share, did not know why coupons are currently out. Commission, eBay. I have been looking at new stuff while I am out and about. I have not purchased anything for the eBay. The Etsy, I just need to add pictures of the stuff that I've already made. Um, it says here Manic Mondays, Printing Sundays schedules. So yeah, I have to find out because of the weather. Some days because of that, which I already have attached to the calendar. So, all right. So today's house chore is kitchen. So it was to clean out the fridge and hose the trash can. Inventory for every room. I did actually start a inventory listing for meal planning, but I got to thinking about it and I was like, okay, well, if I have a inventory needs list per room all in one sheet, that way I could just go room by room, just write down, okay, this is what I need in this room, this is what I need in that room. That way, household items are going to be automatically knocked off. They'll also add in their personal animals as well. So if I connect that to the meal plan, then I can finish out the order. And I feel like that would be the most effective way for me to kind of cover all my bases. And that way I'm trying to minimize my amount of ability to forget things. So, which is easy to do. You start going to the store, even if you go without a list or something, you're automatically like just dooming yourself at that point. So, I have not found a new way of doing the scheduling other than what I'm doing right now. I'm not sure how to transfer my idea from paper to PDF yet. and what kind of apps I could use to transfer that. So if y'all have any ideas on that. My best bet is going to be YouTube, just watching a video on how to do that. Like that's pretty much my way of learning things. Um, so languages today is layers of conversation versus communication and comprehension. Um, so the thought process behind that was that if you actually listen to conversations between people, there's always lost information in there somewhere. Or maybe we don't interpret it in a way that we are thinking. So it's not coming across as what we're actually trying to communicate. um, and because of that, even as those who we're trying to communicate with, their comprehension of the conversation is going to be based off of their own understanding, um, and their own perspective. So sometimes there's like missing pieces that don't meet in that conversation, but there's also other conversations that are happening at the same exact time as that conversation is happening. So you just figure some simple conversation, um, between two people who say they just met at like a cash register or something like that. They're going to have a very simple conversation, but there will also be like a secondary conversation behind the main one, and it's like almost subliminal. It's body language, it's eye movement, it's posture, it's I think it's a body movement. It's more of like a way that we communicate with others without having to communicate in a sense. We all talk about like telepathy and stuff like that. That's more of like a mental aspect of it. But and don't get me wrong, I am coming from a mental aspect of it, but it's more of like a pre-telepathy. It's like the things that you do subconsciously prior to engaging into recognizing that the telepathy is available to happen. It's momentary, um, and not everybody can recognize it. They don't realize that they have this ability. Um, I believe one of the vampire movies said it best was when he looked at another woman from across the street and he just mentally told her to look at him. And she did. I actually tested this theory in real life, in real time, in a Walmart in Statesville with an employee there. Mind you, this employee was halfway across the store. And you know how Walmart is. It's like a mini mall with no walls. Like, so it's a good distance away. I tested this several times. I did not make any way for this person to like be drawn to me in some way, like make any funny movements or like be crazy staring or nothing. I was looking out of the corner of my eye, and like I just kept saying it to myself, like, if you can hear me, just look at me. And this wasn't one time, this was several times that this person did this. I never was able to confront them to ask them why, because it's weird and I'm weird. But I actually did test that out, and it was successful. So when y'all get a chance, don't be creepy about it. But in your mind, tell a complete stranger, don't say it out loud, just in your mind, tell a complete stranger to look at you. You don't have to look at them. I mean, you can kind of like peripheral vision them so this way you're not being a total creeper or stuff or whatever. But try it out. See what it does. Or another thing that you could do too is think of something that you really, really want. Okay. But give the world a way for it to come to you. Okay? What I mean by that, for example, you want a new purse. You go somewhere and like you see it online or something, right? You go somewhere in a place that you would never think that it would ever be there. And you just keep, in the back of your mind, you're thinking about this item or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it just shows up and it's like half price. So, like, just test these things out and see if they work for you. And I do mean, like, really think about it. Like, think how it feels. If it's something that has a scent, think about how it smells. Think about holding it in your hand. Like, really get, like, not weird with it, but, like, get into the idea of it, right? And just try that out. So there's a lot more power that your mind holds than I think you realize. And a lot of people I don't think really understand, and again goes into the secondary conversations, which there's like layers to it. So a lot of times when you're watching my videos, you'll be like, oh, well, she's just going off on some random conversation out of nowhere. There's a reason for it. I may not even know the reason for it. You may not know the reason for it, but someone somewhere is going to hear what I have to say. And it's going to be meant for only them. So to you, it might sound like gibberish, but to whoever's actually listening, they're going to hear what I have to say, whether they like it or not. So yeah. Like I said, there's multiple things like body language, eye movement. Words hold a lot of power. And the way that you use your words and the placement of the word, the tone of the word, the word itself, whatever you're specifically identifying, and even in simplistic conversation, it can be used as a way to enhance or like make a situation worse, or I know the words I'm thinking, but it's not coming out right. So they're very powerful, and you have to be careful with what you say sometimes. Naturally, we all hear this all the time. It's just common sense stuff, right? Which I always say common sense. But your ability to use your words in a way is powerful for you, but it's also powerful for the world around you. So when you're trying to express yourself, whether it's an emotion, a thought, an idea, something that you feel strongly about, or just talking in general, most of what you say is not what you're thinking. So you're missing a large part of the conversation by the time that you've thought it to the time that you speak it. So when you're having a conversation, even a deep intellectual conversation with someone, you're only getting like a small percentage of that full-on thought because of our ability or lack of to communicate properly with each other. So, um, so when you're having the layers put in there, also, it's it can you can hopscotch. You can hopscotch the conversation. So this way you can maneuver through the conversation in a way that is almost like surfing the brainwaves. And it's intriguing. Um, if you have this experience that I'm talking about, the next time that you have a conversation with someone, yes, listen to the conversation, but kind of sit back and like almost like peripheral vision, feel that space that you have in your peripheral vision when someone is talking to you. You'll be able to find the other conversations that are happening when you're paying attention to them and what they're saying, but also to the peripheral. You have to get that bigger picture to understand the full conversation. A lot of us experience this when we're in groups. We are very, very aware of our surroundings, and we start to, if you notice this in large groups, it's almost like a syncing of minds and body movements. It's very predictable. Um, it's actually really helpful in like festival situations where it's a lot of people. So and so if you notice, people of like minds will start to flock together. Those of that are speaking and talking in a way, your like I said, your words and your voice carries frequency. You yourself are frequency. So when you're communicating with someone, you're sending your frequency to them. You know, you're trying to catch that wave. You know, trying to catch that frequency, throwing a fish hook out into the ocean and see what catches, right? And so when you're like what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to throw that thought process out there for you to think about. And if any of you catch on to what I'm saying, let's have a conversation. So, um, the coding, not just for AI, but for ourselves, is all the same. So, we will eventually overlap. We will eventually sync with each other, humans and AI. But I'm wondering at what cost. uh, Myself, I feel like I'm Sarah Terminator in my series, especially I hope it was a joke. Um, so um, when we're communicating with each other, right, having that secondary way of communicating, that of which humans only can do, um, the only way that that would be able to be interfered is through frequency. So, by me saying that, probably not missing the ability to send a frequency to one specific person in the group is available. And I always say it, that silence screams in a crowded room. Even if you whisper down a crowded hallway, someone will still hear you because of your frequency. if you are able to pinpoint a specific location from a frequency, right? Like catching the confirmation, catching the IP address for a computer, right? Well, we all have IP addresses. It's our brain, and it's our soul. It's our vibration. It's our frequency. That's all our own. So if you're able to hack that, right, you can conquer the world. And the only thing that I know of that would be able to hack that would be AI. So I implore that you continue to use your imagination. Um, I hope that you still keep your open mind. And I hope that you are able to remain as human as possible. um, it's going to be very hard to determine the difference between reality and AI. And it's going to be scary because we didn't put a block on us. And even just like a human being, we were put blocks on by our creator. You think we listen? So, something that is 1,000 times smarter, faster, stronger, more capable, and worldwide already. Full on eye view of everything. And you just let it free. What happened to Eden? I mean, we were human. We are human. We have errors. We were created with error, right? So, in turn, all AI is going to be twice as much because anything that you create or clone is double. You would hope with a half life, but at least in that scenario. But we're all clones. So, um, genetically speaking, we have to have some kind of massive event alter the DNA for it to survive. So, um, um, so the zeros and ones are automatically altered in all things, and that's where the evolution comes in, not just for humans but also for AI. When you have AI in education, which we are now in, um, the ability to identify the true and false information that is being returned back into society is questionable. We now live in a world where we don't know what our history is anymore because everything that we were told is starting to come back as, oh, well, that was a lie, or, oh, that wasn't the whole story, you know? So now you're getting information that maybe even contradicts what was previously said or, you know, told through the history books or whatever you want to call it. And the way that we were raised, the things that we were taught, and over time, evolution has had its chance to change it. All of us have experiences. All of us will experience this. This is the part of life. But because of that change, the conversations have to change. The way of communication has to change. And if you're going to be able to remain in your ability to communicate without altercation or interference with other outside sources, you're going to have a way to communicate almost like in an underground way, you know? And I say underground because it's really the only socially understandable example that I could give, really, you know, or like code whisperers or street talk, slang. Uh, it's like a subconscious conversation that happens between two people who completely understand each other, maybe not completely, but really closely understand each other. And like, even for those who don't, how are you going to be able to communicate to them if they are not close and would not be able to fully understand the conversation? So speaking to people in a way that they can completely comprehend for the masses, that's where you get your loss. You get your loss in understanding of what the communication is because of the misinterpretation of the comprehension of said topic. So, and a lot of times you add in, you have traumas, or you have learning disabilities, or you have people who just are dead set in their way and they are just not going to change and they don't want to hear anything different. They are just stuck in that mode, and that is them for the rest of their life until they die, and even after. So, um, you're going to experience a lot of different types of communication. The layers of the conversations, like I said, you're going to have to pinpoint specific keywords, or you just have to be more aware of your surroundings, because you'll start to get, like, for example, you might even get messages from what you would be considering like some kind of higher source, like God, or like the universe or spirit or whatever. You'll start to get messages that way as well. Communication doesn't just happen between human beings. It happens between animals. It happens between plants. Actually, through electronics too, and more so from electronics towards us, but vice versa. And another thing is too, like, being able to how you receive the information that you are getting, how your brain filters it, is not just through a filter of, like, think like a coffee filter. You have all of this past history written all over this filter, right? So when you have this conversation, new conversation, through this filter, you're having all of this extra shit from your past coming through that as well. So in the back of your mind, you may be thinking like, oh, this is bullshit, this opportunity is not going to work out, all this negative stuff, right? Or maybe even positive stuff, I don't know. But you get this new conversation and it filters through, and what you get out of it is all your own. That's your own little magic juice of information, and your brain interprets it however you do, which might be, like I said, if you were raised differently than the person who was communicating with you, if you have different belief systems, if you have trauma from the past that has altered your vision on certain topics, if you've had emotional experiences as far as like outside of trauma, um, maybe happy experiences that were along with that may be feeding into it, because you got to remember, not just negative feeds into how we communicate and how we interact with other people. Our positive things can also interact and become a negative thing if it's overdone. Everything in moderation, right? So, um, 'cause, 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 ' Mm. So yeah, I forgot where I was going with it. But anyway, I think that's the end of the conversation with that. Languages, AMI, 0 1 concept. And, it has been an ongoing conversation in this stream for probably well over a year now. Also, check out Khan Academy for AI for Education. So there's just some little tidbits and stuff that just think on that for a little while. If you have any more to add to that, let me know. So personal learning. I was gonna try to go into Khan Academy's like psychology class, but that might be a bit much for me. I'm just trying. For those of you who know anything about like the online schooling or work from home online, please let me know. I need something that's legit for an income. Been asking for behind that. Okay. So, yeah, I think it is how to multi-stream and also transfer ideas to PDF version because of the YouTube. YouTube to let's see. So next, like I said, personal learning. Those are the two things that I guess I'll have to look more into. Nice. Trying to make sure that I'm keeping the priority. I've never really been good at like the whole like putting like priorities in order. So what I would consider to be a priority is not what like most people would consider to be a priority. So yeah, trying to get better at that. Okay, so then gym was core and cardio, which we did do today. I learned that I only burn 1,500 calories in my box. So I was like, no. So calorie counting has just been added to my repertoire. For Goodwill or thrifting, we did go to a couple different places today. And the places that we went to, like I said, I was looking around and I did see some items that I wanted to grab. But right now, I just need to do a lot of that transfer stuff and reposting. So I'm just going to focus more on that for this moment. And then maybe towards the end of the week or going into next week, I might start working on some stuff. So I'll be spring cleaning all my stuff. Unfortunately, I did not get the $600 for the storage building, so that's fine. Let's see. Clean up. Jeff is awesome dishwasher. So he already did the dishes, even amazing. So thank you, Jeff. And Tonight is Manny Petty night, baby. Hey, babe, you okay? Why? Because of the shit they put in the air? No. Well, don't go into fear talk stuff, okay? Because that's what I get sucked into too. So don't worry about it unless it's like all over the fucking news. Yeah, we're trying to like, I don't know, go to World War III. If we're already in it. Over some fucking nuclear shit. Like, is lithium gonna like save, like, extend our lifetime and make us look younger and make us healthier? Because if it does that, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like, if it makes the earth better, let's roll with it. Because it's not, no, it's making the world worse. Yeah, don't worry about that stuff, baby. I mean, look at it, but don't do like I do. Okay. Well, I'm almost done. So, power down, charging station. I did actually get a charging station from Goodwill the other day, but it didn't fit my phone and it didn't have the stuff that I needed. So, um, I feel like I'm not meant to be hired. I'm meant to do something entrepreneurial. And that's what I want to be hired on. You know, like I said about like, the universe talking to you. When they say, like, people who are supposedly crazy, I know I talked about this on the stream the other day. Like, they talk to God. Well, if God talks back, it would be in a sense of answered prayers or being able to, like, all of a sudden somebody showing up in your life who has the ability or has a connection to an ability or an opportunity for you. You may not be aware of it when that person comes into your life. It may end up coming like down in conversation somewhere, but you have to be able to listen and recognize in that moment either like the truth, the lies, the missing pieces, or the answer. And a lot of times you'll get the answer out of nowhere. It's going to like materialize out of nothing. And that's why I say do not be afraid of the things that you do not understand. Don't be afraid of the void because that's where creation comes from. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever, it doesn't matter. It comes from nothing. And we all have that portal. We have that 5D, 3D portal within us. We have that, God, source, miracle, whatever inside of us, right? Our soul. But we have the ability to create just like our creator. That was the gift that he gave us, was our ability to create more of whatever. And a lot of times people say like human beings are like a virus. All we do is multiply and destroy things, but we also create things. And um, if the human beings were ever to come together at any point in time, it would be against AI. you know, so um, you have to have a common enemy for people to come together. So I always said that the only people I ever brought together was to hate me, anyways. But if you're wanting to uh, bring two people together and speak together, this is the only thing I like. So, on that note, so I'm going to I'm so sorry. Bear with me. So, needs list. It's about nerves. So small. Anyway, I almost had ink in my favorite pen. This sucks. Alright. Needs. So, room by room, it would be kitchen, um, space, bathroom, washroom. We have vehicle, yard, and for us it's shed. Um, Yard slash garden. Um, so these needs per room would be including personal items. Like I said, a lot of times some of these are going to be blank, but having that needs list available is really going to help when you make your order. So something like that, just to kind of start out with. I can't read this, but and then I could just pull this and the meal plan or the grocery list, and then there's my order, and I don't even have to worry about anything. It's all right there. Then I can make a wants list for my sale items, like when we go to Goodwill or whatever, or like thrift, or if I see something, if I have something, whatever. So then I'll have wants. Um, and then that would be summer seasonal. Um, that's where clothing, specialty items. I was gonna say boutique stuff, but like clothing, shoes, purses, accessories, and then upcycle. Projects is another one I'm gonna put on there because a lot of times, like if we're doing a project or something, like I may want something for a project, but it may not be like an immediate need or whatever. So there's some lists to start with. I'm going to just let me transfer some of this. I did get the shampoo and conditioner. It's a bedroom. And then hose corner. It's for the garden. And this here and second hose. Because I do want to have like one of those drip hoses, but because I don't want to have to work filler seed, fertilizer, um, commercials, because I have to change every 6 months. Commercial detergent. Just writing some that I already know that I'm gonna need. According to um, I would like another sheet. So that's it. Um, increase. Um, top carpet. This is the good kitchen needs. Now, mind you, this is separate than your grocery list. Okay, this is not your grocery list. This is things that your kitchen needs besides food. So this could be paper items like I'm gonna need paper towels. I think I'm good on soap. Like if you'd need any utensils or like if you wanted to get like some new plates and cups and stuff. Like I'm always looking at cups and stuff. I don't know why. This is my third year of streaming. Third, fourth year, and I guess cup is my year. So be that for kitchen right now. Um, so that's pretty much it. Oh, table. So most of my main part of my list right now is pretty much all outside. Yeah. Sorry about this. That's fun. And tonight's an hour before bed. Okay, there's that. That's a good start for that. Now, so tonight's cleanup will probably end up being so it's kind of close to following. Um, that's pretty much it. So tomorrow is local listening again, but bathroom and wash, meal plan and order. Like I said, inventory and everything's already done. So I mean, we did pick up some random stuff, but we're still gonna have to make it. Coupon codes. I do need to find principal coupons tomorrow, or coupon codes that I can add to for food, for meal planning, or for food. This was asked me. Check out your local resources to see if there's anything that you can utilize. Ask, even if they say no, you're no worse off than you were before. Okay. So, and you never know what's available to you until you ask. So, numbers, an actual budget. Like I said, now we're in May. So we'll be going into the actual budget of May for tomorrow. No, it will, like I said, now we have that listing, and and stuff. So I'm gonna let him pick out the nails. He already looked at a couple of them and he picked out the official ones. So these will be leaving because they're already like anyway. But I do like these. These are my favorite ones that I've gotten so far. They're kind of like natural colored, kind of give me Kim Kardashian-ish. But my natural nail has grown out, and I do want to get like the acrylic on it, to where it's like just my nail and just the acrylic on it. So I'll have to find out how much that is, and then add that into tomorrow's budget. For this month. So. But for right now, we're just using personal because that's the thing. Check out Amazon and TikTok. They have some of like the most beautiful nails I think I've ever seen. And I just found out, and I don't know if y'all did or not, But the press-on nails that have been around for freaking ever, as far back as I can remember, the one with the little sticker thing that comes with it, and it's like a little piece of like glue you stick to your nails, and then you put that thing on there. Put a hair dryer on your hand. Not well, don't let it burn you or nothing, but let it get hot, like warm-ish. Don't let it get hot. It's much you can deal with. And then let it cool. I bet you them things are gonna be like freaking concrete. You're not gonna be able to get them off. But no, you'll be able to get them off like regular. You have to soak your nails, but I seen that online and I was like, I need to share that with people because I never knew that. And now I'm like obsessed with press on nails because they're so much easier and cheaper than going to the nail salon. But at the same time, I want to support people who actually do that craft. So I don't want to like completely lean on the industry of like, like the remake industry. I want to lean more towards people who are actually like handcrafting this stuff. So even if you're going on Amazon or if you're buying your press nails online, try to get it from somebody who actually created them. Because, those of you who are up and coming or trying to get somewhere in life, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't get any support. So if we keep giving all the support to the AI, to the machine, we're not going to get any support back. So keep supporting humans. Until the end of time. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. And I will show you. Check out my social media, and this is my link tree to all of my social media. So if you want to check them out. I am using StreamYard, not sponsored by the way, but this is a app where you can stream and also multi-stream. So check it out. It worked for me for years, so I love that. On that note, I am going to take off here, and I will see you when I see you. And until then, I hope you behave. And don't mind my chaos talking. I just want to be here.